we're going to be talking about things you should not do when you are in love. So who's ready? Alright, let's get started. So this first one is, do not laugh when your partner says to not laugh at something specifically. And what I'm talking about is when you're with your partner and they decide to tell you a secret. They specifically tell you not to laugh. So then all of a sudden your partner's secret is so hilarious to you that you start laughing. And this is when you need to
stop. That is a big no-no.
And that is because after laughing at their secret that they trusted you with, all of a sudden they become depressed and lonely and figured that since you're bullying them that they cannot trust you back anymore. For instance, in my situation, it went a little like this.
Hey, so can I tell you something?
Yes, of course, anything.
Okay, but you have to promise not to laugh.
Okay, I promise.
I still like to sleep with the nightlight on.
Laughing emoji. Really? You really had to do the laughing emoji. And yes, I know. Looking back at this memory, I deeply regret it because I look so dumb forgetting that he didn't want me to laugh. And yeah, that really makes me look like a real douchebag. But of course, I did learn from my lesson and I do not do that again to anybody else. My friends, family, especially my partner. Like, bro, you're supposed to be one of the nicest people on earth. What are you looking at? But again, we were just texting at the time, and he did take a little while to send the message secret to me, so of course I would forget, right? Of course. There's no real excuse for what I did, and obviously at the time, I was just a high school kid and wasn't really prepared for a serious relationship at the time. Which then leads into the next topic we are going to talk about, is also very important in a relationship from my experience, which is talking to each other, calling each other, instead of texting each other. Because most of the time when you're texting anybody, it doesn't matter if it's your partner, your friend, or your family, sometimes messages can be read in the wrong way or taken in the wrong way. For instance, you can be texting your partner in a very calm manner without being mad or sad about the situation. However, as your partner reads it, they could take it as you're mad. So then they text you back saying, why are you mad? And on and on. And that in turn can create problems for both of you guys because all of a sudden your partner is sad that you're mad at them, supposedly. And now you are also reading their texts as they are mad at you now for being mad at them. It just creates a lot of problems. And when me and my partner were mainly together was when COVID had hit our school, and all of a sudden we could not see each other and we were quarantined in our own homes, so we could not go meet each other anywhere. And this had led to us communicating by phone. And as I was talking to my partner a few minutes ago, talking about this next video that I'm creating right now, I realized that one of the reasons why this was a problem was because of me. Let me explain. You see, me as a person, I'm very quiet in person. And because of that, I do not like to generally talk or do FaceTime with anybody, not even my friends or my family. It just makes me very anxious for some reason. I do not know why, but I do not generally like calling anybody over the phone. I'd rather it be in person if I'm going to actually talk to them. Therefore, that part of my anxious self was there when I was with my partner back in quarantine. So no matter how much my partner wanted to actually call me and talk to me, I did not want to. I said no. So we ended up texting each other back and forth, which in turn did create this problem where there was a bunch of misunderstandings. And I was being very silly. Being the girly girl that I am, almost every time he texted, okay, I would think he would be upset at me. And I would send crying face emoji back to him and ask him, are you mad at me? And he would be like, no, why would he be mad at you? And I would still think he'd be upset at me, which is not good, guys. That should not happen. It is easier to do these things and figure out how you guys feel when you are talking, especially during FaceTime. You can always do a bunch of things. You can blow blow each other kisses. You could cook with each other. Or obviously, because quarantine is not a thing now, you can go hang out with each other in person, which is way better. Definitely. Especially when resolving problems that you guys may run into in the relationship. So it'd be easier to talk it over with in person rather than sending texts back and forth. But obviously, it's not a huge no-no if you text once in a while. But I greatly recommend that you guys talk to each other. However, if you don't, and this is when you need to
Stop. That is a big no-no.
Which now leads us to our next topic, which is to, no matter how tired you may be from work or from your day of being at school or whatever, you have to show your partner some love. Even if it's one hug, one simple kiss, or just the words, I love you, works. It's kind of like having a dog. When you come home from a long day of work, school, or whatever it is that you do all day, and your dog is there excitedly wagging his tail, waiting for attention or love after a long day of being alone, you would have to give them at least something, pet them at least, or give them a simple hug, or talk to them and let them know that you know they are there and they exist in your life. Because otherwise, your dog is going to get depressed and eventually not want to try and get attention from you when you get home from a long day, and you are going to miss that. It is just like with a partner as well. Your partner is going to try every day to try to comfort you from being out for a long time, knowing you are very exhausted, and want to give you lots of hugs and kisses and comfort to let you know that they are there for you. However, if you cannot do that and you instead tell them, not today, every day, then eventually they're going to stop, because what's the point? And you are going to realize that they stopped and you are going to miss it for sure. Therefore, in my experience, I at some point had started getting very tired from doing work and school all day, that I would come home and every time my partner would try to hug me or kiss me on the cheek, I would let them know that I am tired and I do not want that right now. My partner, who always asked if I loved them because I wasn't giving them as much attention as I used to back before I was working. And of course, I would respond to my partner saying, of course I love you. Why wouldn't I love you? And they would tell me that it has just been a while since I would give them attention or any love that we used to back when we were just in high school without having to worry about a job. And that was when I sat back and realized that, oh my goodness, I am not paying attention to my partner as much as I used to because I am so stressed from work and school at the same time, which made me realize that by doing that, things have changed in our relationship, and I don't necessarily want that. So no matter how stressed or cluttered I feel in my brain after a long day, I would come home and I always make sure to at least give my partner a hug or a simple kiss to let them know that I know they exist and I love them, but right now, all I need is to relax. And now this next subject can be something very important to most couples, if not all of them, and eventually makes you realize if you are the person for each other. And that is to not take away the things that your partner loves to do or loves to collect. If you find that your partner is starting to hate the things that you treasure or you love to do and that have nothing to do with distracting you from doing work or helping out with the house, then maybe it's time that you both realize you both deserve someone different, someone better deserved for each of you guys. Because let's be honest, there are a bunch of people in the world who have the same hobbies that you may like. Or if you are in a relationship where you both don't necessarily have a lot in common, but you both greatly respect each other and respect that you both have your hobbies and the things that you like, then in that case, you you should try and figure out a way where both of you can do those things at the same time, or in a way where you guys are both comfortable with. It is always about communication, guys, which is also something very important in a relationship. However, we will not get to that today. However, in my situation for this problem, my partner loves video games and I love to draw, either it be digitally or on paper. And when either of us get into our hobbies for the day and one of us is not at that moment, then it is difficult because we tend to get bored and want to hang out with each other. But of course, again, that is hard because either of those things that we like to do is what we love doing in general. That is our hobbies. It is what keeps us busy from the world around us. So, therefore, me and my partner came up with a way where we can both do our hobbies at the same time. So that way, none of us are distracted or want attention from each other at that time. And honestly, it works out pretty good. And this leads into our next but last topic of the day, which is always ask for consent, even if it is just for a kiss.
Do you wanna kiss?
Sure. No means no. Got it? Hey everyone, this is Snow Tiger-chan. I would love to mention these wonderful people who had commented since I started this channel. Thank you for Winter_Nights, L.Y. Mary, Luna-chan.01, Kimmy the Goof, Psycho-chan Music, 6309, Seth M. Hernandez, 1998, Volteg77, Yes Queen 2, Lavender 758, and Summertime I don't know, I am completely sorry if I butchered any of your names. I'm so sorry. I know it's hard to pronounce mine sometimes because my first language is not Korean, Japanese, or Chinese. Obviously, my first language is English. So sometimes I may not be pronouncing Chan or John. I don't know which one it is, but I do appreciate you guys very much. And I love it when you guys share your own stories along with my stories, because that also makes me feel like I'm not alone in these situations. So thank you very much for supporting me and hope you guys have a great day. Thank you. See you guys later. Bye.